second time that I have filmed this because I have anxiety, and yesterday I literally cried. So here we are again. I'm gonna do a studio tour. I've been working on an art studio for like 2-3 weeks at this point. It's mostly put together. I'm going to take you around the room, show you how I have everything organized, maybe give you some home decor ideas, I don't know, but yeah, here we go.
Hi guys, so before we start, I think it's also worth saying right now that you don't need all of this to have a creation space. You don't need to spend a lot of money on furniture. Almost everything here is stuff I thrifted or got from people giving stuff away that I repurposed or repainted. Also, just in general, you don't need tons of stuff to have a studio space. Sometimes it's hard just finding the space to do it, and that's totally valid. Before I had this room, I would paint on the floor by my bed or literally wherever I could fit an easel. So, in the front of the room, I have this floor futon. This is just a rest area I can go if I've been painting for a long time or just want to chill. This is the painting area. This is where I spend most of my time working. I have easels set up here as well as this big mirror that I also thrifted to sort of act as a backdrop and shield between the paintings and the wall. I like the mirror because I feel like it brings a little more light into the room. I also have a rug here with a tarp underneath to protect the carpet from getting stained by any potential spills. Next there's this table that holds all my frequently used supplies, so here I have my painting palettes, paints, and brushes. This table is actually a coffee table from my parents' house, and I laid an old curtain on top of it to make it look a little more put together. Underneath, I store all my acrylic paint in this toolbox. The toolbox was something suggested to me in undergrad as a way to carry our paints to class, and I think I just put my paints in here like 4 years ago and never took them out. It just makes them really portable, and this toolbox will hold a lot of tubes, so I'll probably just keep on doing this. So around the painting area, I have this little Inspo Wall. The plan for this was very Pinteresty with the stacked frames and everything, but this is just a collection of pieces that I really liked or things that have sentimental value to me. I have postcards, studies, some letters from customers who bought my art. I think all of these things help me get into the mindset I need to paint. All over the room, I have an obscene amount of plants that I like to claim are for inspiration, but really it's because I have an addiction. But underneath, I have this shelf that I repainted. On top, I keep all my other painting supplies. So I have aerosols, fixatives, glues on the top shelf, and more frequently used mediums and primers in the middle where it's easiest to grab. Basically, anything in a bottle I use more than 5 times a year, it's on this shelf. On the bottom, I've thrown a few sketchbooks until I figured out a better way to store them. Next, I have a drawing desk for those days I don't feel like mistreating my back. I also film and photograph pieces here to take advantage of the natural light. I feel like sunlight is the easiest and prettiest lighting to work with, and I'm just very lucky to have this window. The desk is extended with another short shelf that I put a board on top of, and it holds my pineapple plant and my printer. On this shelf, I keep my paint making supplies. So basically, I paint with so much watercolor that it's actually more cost efficient for me to just make my own. It's really easy, and technically you only need 2 ingredients with optional other materials to help the flow of your paint, but making my own watercolor allows me to make bulk amounts of paint for much cheaper than if I were to buy it. And I think it also makes me much more appreciative of the materials I work with since I have to take the time to make it myself. But basically, I have gum arabic as my binder and a collection of basic pigments. I have some honey, which makes the paints activate faster, and oxgall, which makes it move better on the paper. Like, you know that whoosh thing that watercolor does when you put it in lots of water? That's what oxgall does. I'd like to do a video on making watercolors, so if you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comments or something. So here we have my computer desk. I also take photos and do graphic design work, so I do all of this here. The desk was thrifted and the top was all scuffed up, so I repainted it with these sunflowers. But this is where I do most of my work and edit and all of that. And then we have the most exciting part of this video, which is this closet that exemplifies my most frequent mental state. There isn't much to see here except that it is a mess and I will likely take months to address it. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for coming along on this tour. I'm hoping to put out more videos soon, but in the meantime, you guys can keep up with me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will drop the links below. See ya!